on the VinceEverettEllison Show. Since we're getting to the end of Black History Month, we're going to continue our series on some things in Black history. So we're going to ask this big question, and I know you guys are going to love this. Was Rosa Parks a plant? Yeah, we're going to talk about that today on the VinceEverettEllison Show. All right, let's get this thing started. You know, Napoleon said history is lies agreed upon. Man, he never made a truer statement than that. Because they have really taken the history of black people and they've made it mythology more than anything. And they've sanitized it to a point where we can't correct our present situation because our history is mythology. It's almost like you running out of gas in your car and you don't know anything about a car, right? You don't know anything about it. And the person is telling you that the reason why your car is stopping is because the fairies in the tank are angry and you have to pray and make them happy again and your car start running. And you believe that and you start praying to the fairies in your tank, but your car never runs again because that's a lie. It needs gas. That's the truth. The sanitized version of it, the mythologized version of why your car is not running, doesn't help you at all. That's the problem in Black America and America right now. We have this sanitized version of our history and why we are hitting the wall in all these areas. It's not working because we've lied about our history. One of the things we lied about is Miss Rosa Parks. And everybody, American history says that Rosa Parks was this heroine that came and sat on the bus in Montgomery Bus boycott and that she wouldn't give up her seat to a white woman, and that started the Montgomery Bus boycott, and the Montgomery Bus boycott started the civil rights movement, and the civil rights movement cleansed America of its original sin of slavery, and now everybody in America is happy and it's kumbaya in America, all because Rosa Parks decided to bravely not give up her seat to that white man. All of that is a lie. Rosa Parks, from what I understand, was a plant. But American history loves some Rosa Parks. Let me tell you why Rosa Parks and MLK is so important to the story of America. Why they have to maintain the lie. For 200 years almost, America has been called this racist, backward, ignorant, stupid country by the Europeans. I mean, they came to America and they saw slavery. They say, this is a peculiar institution. We going on these plantations, man, and we're seeing these children that are half white, and they look just like the master. I mean 20, 30 of them. Master's out there just getting down with the slave women and having children, and then he's going to put his children on the auction block and sell them. It's crazy. It's crazy down there. It's madness. And all this got back to Europe, and people were looking at America as this backward, crazy nation, and Abraham Lincoln knew it. So in the Civil War, even though the slaves did not ask for, nor participate, nor have knowledge of their freedom, Abraham Lincoln gave it to them. He said, it's going to do us very good. It's going to do wonders for our public relations worldwide. Well, Jim Crow set in after they ended slavery. I mean, they did the 13th Amendment, right to vote, 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law, 15th Amendment, the right to vote for men. They thought that may have done it. But no. The white Democrats down south said no. So they brought in Jim Crow. And Jim Crow became an embarrassment to America. But you couldn't get it stopped because of federalism, how the Constitution said that the states controlled their elections and so much of what went on in their communities. The federal government had very little power. The FBI and the federal police force barely existed back then. So it was like, and every time you tried to pass something in Congress to give the government more power to go down and try to make these southern states treat black people correctly, of course, it'd be vetoed. They can never get it done. So Jim Crow became an embarrassment to the United States of America. An embarrassment. America became known all over this world as a hypocritical nation, as a racist nation. And communism came up, and the communists said, look at America. you people of color all over the world, you Asian people, you African people, you people in the Caribbean. Look at America, you people in India and all over the world. It is a racist nation that hates you because of the color of your skin. And America says, oh my goodness, guys, we are in a quandary here. The communists have taken over China. They've taken over Vietnam. They've taken over North Korea. They are here in Cuba. How are we going to stop this? Well, the first thing they say we got to do is we got to prove to the world that America's not a racist nation. How do we do that, y'all? MLK and Rosa Parks. We do an MLK birthday. We give the black guy a monument in D.C. And whenever they call us a racist nation, we can point to that and say, see, no, we're not. Even though they know King was no good. Even though they know he was a communist, a Marxist, a philanderer, because black people has accepted them as their God. And white people say, if that's who you want, that's who you got, because it cleanses us. And it tells the world on the world stage, we are not a racist nation. And America wanted to prove so badly that they were not a racist nation. Look at what they did with Rosa Parks. They made Rosa Parks the first American who had not been a public official to lie in state in the rotunda of the U.S. Capitol. Did you hear me? The first person that was not a member of our government to lie in state, a private citizen at the nation's capital, that was Rosa Parks. Why did America do that? As a symbol to the world, look at us, world, we are no longer that racist, backwoods group of ignorant rubes that the Democratic Party was, the Bull Connors of the world. That's not us any longer. Yeah, we assassinated Martin. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated here in the United States of America. Yeah, but look at what we've done. This cleanses us of racism all over the world. Now, y'all give us some props for that. So that's why Rosa Parks and this mythology around her is so important. There are songs about her, movies about her, statues about of her. I went to the Lorraine Hotel in Memphis, the Civil Rights Museum, where King got shot. There is a statue of Rosa Parks in the hotel, sitting on the bus, looking out the window. They got the whole bus, and they got a little statue of her sitting there looking out the window. You can go in and step aside and get a picture took with it if you want to. Yeah. Iconic. All of it's a lie. Rosa Parks was born in Tuskegee, Alabama. She married Raymond Parks in 1943 and joined the NAACP. Her husband Raymond was an activist. He's a bit of a communist. And ironically, Rosa married him after he took her for a ride in his car. So her husband had a car. Question is, why is she riding the bus and her husband riding the car? Why was she taking that indignity of riding the bus and having to give up her seat to white folks when her husband had a car? That's a very good question, isn't it? So Rosa started working she went to a few communist meetings. They make it plain to say, though, she never became a member of the Communist Party, but she did meet Clifford and Virginia Durr. Now, Clifford and Virginia Durr was interesting. She became a maid for them. And they kind of found out she was interested in the Communist Party and, civil rights. And they said, Rosa, how interested are you? Rosa said, I'm very interested. So they said, well, Rosa, we'd like to finance you going to Highlander Folk School. Now, what is Highlander Folk School? It was a communist training camp, even though it didn't call itself that, in Montgomery, Tennessee. So Rosa had to leave Alabama and go to Tennessee to Highlander Folk School, a communist training camp. And guess who she met there, y'all? Martin Luther King Jr., Ralph Abernathy. Yeah, at the communist training camp. Rosa meets them there. Now, the Durrs were very, very interesting. Virginia and her husband. Mr. Durr was Clifford. Wasn't just your average little Alabama lawyer. No. Clifford Durr was somebody special. Clifford Durr had gotten his law degree from Oxford University in England. Yeah. That man was educated. And he was kicked out of the Truman administration in 1948 for refusing to take part in the loyalty oath. Back then, it wasn't like now. The Supreme Court ruled that you could be a communist after a while, okay? But back then, if they found out you were a communist, they could fire you from your job, they could blackball you, all kind of stuff could happen to you. So in 1948, this is 3 years after World War II. They were demanding that people in the federal government took a loyalty oath to the United States of America and that they weren't communists. Durr said, I'm not going to do it, and he quit. And so he became president of the National Lawyers Guild. Well, the National Lawyers Guild was this group of very, very, very liberal lawyers. And they were extremely liberal on race issues and everything else. And I told you why they were interested in the race issue and integration. Because government had to control your identity. Government had to control every aspect of your life. You couldn't have the freedom to say, I'm part of this group or that group or that group or that group. That gave you too much power. The government says, no, you are this. You are part of our people. All of you are the same. You're going to wear the same clothes. You're going to get the same amount of money. You're going to live in the same houses. You're going to drive the same cars. You're going to be the same thing. And you're going to do it because we say so. That was the idea behind communism and Marxism. So Durr was part of this little clique of Marxists that believed in this ideology. So this little communist guild that they got, they defended, communists and all kind of weird people all over America. And the House Un-American Activities accused the Lawyers Guild of being a communist front group. What is a communist front group? A communist front group is a group of communists that call themselves something else and deny that they're communists. That's all it is. We're not communists, but everything they do is communist. Who funds you? Don't worry about it. Communist funds them. They have a communist ideology, but when you ask them are they communists, hell no, we ain't communists. That was the Lawyers Guild. So they all set this thing up in Montgomery, where Rosa Parks doesn't give up her seat on the bus. It's a plant. It's all set up. Everybody's in place. E.D. Nixon, Montgomery Improvement Society, all of them. Rosa gets arrested. She immediately gets bailed out. The Durrs help her out. Mr. Durr had a whole lot of pull, got Rosa Parks out of jail. And the Montgomery bus boycott is not what stops the segregation on the buses. It was not. Now, did y'all hear what I just told you? Because everybody believed that Rosa Parks sitting on that bus and refusing to get up started the Montgomery bus boycott, and the Montgomery bus boycott, all right, that it stopped the segregation on the buses. That's not true. What stopped the segregation on the buses was a Supreme Court case called Browder versus Gale. Now, Clifford Durr was involved all in this case. He basically did the case. He had a black lawyer there fronting it, but Richard Durr basically did the whole thing. And Browder versus Gale was 4 black women. One was Miss Aurelia Browder, Claudette Cloven, Susie McDonald, and Mary Louise Smith. These women went all the way to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled that you could not separate people on those buses and make black people get up to give white people their seat anymore. Done. It wasn't a Montgomery bus boycott, y'all. Now, history tells you that it was a Montgomery bus boycott. How many of you have heard about Browder versus Gale? You probably heard about it if you heard from me or April Chapman, because April's been talking about it too. Browder versus Gale was a Supreme Court case that killed segregation on buses in Montgomery. It wasn't Rosa Parks. It wasn't Martin Luther King. But the communists had a PR system. And Miss Aurelia Browder, Claudette Cloven, Susie McDonald, and Mary Louise Smith did not. And they told the press there was Martin Luther King Jr. and the Montgomery Bus boycott. And Rosa Parks that started all of this, and they became national heroes. Matter of fact, MLK went to the White House with Eisenhower and Nixon. He became the guy after that. And it was all a lie. She was a plant. She was a plant. Now, how do you feel about being lied to? Well, most people don't care. Well, I don't care. I don't care. You know? Again, why is this important? It's important so America understands its real history. Could you understand anything about black America and white America if we didn't know about the Civil War? Where all of this racial strife and everything, if we didn't know anything about slavery, where the racial strife and everything comes from, if we didn't know about the American Revolution, how we fought against the British for our freedom, all of these things, we would be like, why are we the way that we are? Why do we speak the language that we speak? Why do we do the things that we do? These help to explain it all. So if we have been lied to about the American Revolution, or we were captives of spaceships from Mars, and the Martians and their benevolence gave us our freedom, we'd be so jacked up now we wouldn't know what to do because our history would be sanitized and a lie. The reason black people are in such bad shape right now is because their history has been sanitized and it is a lie. That's all there is to it. I'm here trying to get you to understand Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, all these cats in the civil rights movement, Abernathy, Andrew Young, all of them were plants by the Communist Party. Stanley Levinson wasn't involved with Montgomery Bus boycott. But all of them had come from the Highlander Folk School, which was a communist training camp in Montreal, Tennessee. And as a matter of fact, Tennessee closed that sucker down, took his charter and everything because they were just putting out communists, causing hell, raising hell all over America. Y'all, that's the truth. I know the truth is hard to handle. I know it's difficult. I know Rosa Parks has been a hero to the United States of America for a long time. I think that she can be a hero to the left because she did help cause the communist revolution in the United States of America. The black community, because the black community now is basically a communist community and a third world community and a first world community. We have, dictator worship, apostate religion, government control, terrible education, crime, substance abuse. So yeah, I think she should be celebrated by the Marxists and the communists, as Dr. King is. But true blue Americans, no. We need to see them as they are, even if our federal government still wants to gaslight the world and tell them that, look at this, we are not racist because of the King Monument and because we celebrate Rosa Parks. That's the reason why they do this, y'all. Not because they don't know the history. They know the history. But these people are a means to an end for them. A means to an end. We have to recognize that and understand that we're not going to be gaslit anymore. We're not going to be lied to anymore. We're going to tell the truth, and the truth will make you free. Don't get mad at me for telling you the truth. Applaud it. Because now you're not lost. Now you can find your way. Now you can go to safe harbor. The road map, the fake one has been torn up, and now the true one is in front of you. Follow it. And what it will take you to is a belief in Christ, a belief in the Constitution, a belief in America, and all of this fairy tale foolishness, throw it in the fireplace. I'm not going to let you rest. I'm going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not, because I'm here to wake you up. Hope I did you some good today. So join me tomorrow for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, friends, Vince Everett Ellison is here. I want you to go to my website, and on my website, you're gonna see a lot of great stuff, man. You're gonna see that we got t-shirts, we got caps, you got my books, my documentaries, you got all kinds of stuff on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Go there. We're dropping new t-shirts, we're dropping new merchandise. My new book, The End of Tolerance, is there. The End of Tolerance. Make sure you get it, make it #1. If you got my first 3, get The End of Tolerance. It's just as good, and it's telling us we have to end our tolerance with these leftists, these Democrats. We can no longer allow them to sexually groom our children. We can no longer allow them to castrate little boys and call them little girls, run God out of the public square, take away our guns, take away our sovereignty. No longer allow it. So go on VinceSpeaksTruth.com. That is VinceSpeaksTruth.com. Hit merchandise. You'll see the t-shirts. You'll see the caps. You'll see the books. You'll see the documentaries. You'll see it all. And let's keep this ball rolling. God bless you.